my top 5 most anticipated movies of the year. Let's get into this. So the thing is, guys, a lot of people do this at the beginning of the year. They do the top 5, top 10, whatever. I do top 5 just because it's easier, and I feel like I always mess up my top 10s. My top 10s change a lot. My top 5s are pretty consistent, though. A lot of people like to do this at the beginning of the year, though. Break down their most anticipated movies of the year. I don't like doing that because at this point with blockbusters, so many of them get delayed and they get reshoots and all this stuff that just makes it like, oh, yeah, I can't really get excited for that. And so that, and then there's, especially in the recent couple years since like the pandemic, it's really made movie making such a hassle now. To really, and then also the end of the year is when all the award season movies come out, which are the movies that I enjoy a lot. Like a lot of really good art house film directors, things like that, start putting out some of these films that you're like, oh, I want to see that, but you don't know about them at the beginning of the year because, well, they come out at the end of the year. So that's when they start getting marketing, trailers, things like that. So with this list, I am going to be cheating a little bit. Like I have a couple spots where there's going to be 2 movies instead of just 1, things like that. But for the most part, this is my top 5 movies I'm looking forward to the most for the end of the year. And some of them are actually coming out this month, surprisingly enough. A couple honorable mentions. Megalopolis. I love Coppola, and I've been very excited about this movie, but I also have had this very heavy feeling that this movie is going to be a dumpster fire. The trailer was pretty terrible. The fact that you had to take down the trailer and publicly apologize for it is pretty damn insulting. So, yeah, not excited for this one as much as I could be, but I'm still curious about it. It is Coppola, and if it's good, it's good. We'll see. Trailers don't always mean everything, but that was a pretty bad one, and I don't know how you come back from that. So, Beetlejuice, I am excited to see that next year, or not next year, this Wednesday. Actually, I have an early screening ticket. The reality is, I do not think this movie will be good. I pray to God it is, because but it's on my most anticipated of the year list because I love the first Beetlejuice. It's an incredible film, and I love Tim. I used to have a huge affection for Tim Burton and his films. They were very important to me in my my love of film journey and discovering directors and things like that. I don't hold those feelings anymore, but there's always a part of me that, like M. Night Shyamalan, I'm gonna have a soft spot because there's a couple of his films that really were important to me at a certain time and place that will make me, always not necessarily defensive when they screw up, but at least curious and want to see what they do next, no matter what it is, screw up or not. So that's why Beetlejuice is here. Number 5 is the Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. I wasn't initially going to put this film on my list, but I ended up deciding to put it on my list because, because I love Superman and I love the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. I miss Richard Donner quite a bit. R.I.P. But I wasn't sure if this film, because it was a Fathom event, was going to be screened in my area, and luckily it is. So I don't know if anyone else does this, but if there's a movie I'm looking forward to and I'm not really sure if it's going to be in my area or I'm waiting for tickets to drop, I take my Fandango account and I sign up for the notification email. Fandango the other day was like, hey, what you been waiting for? It's here. So when I get paid tomorrow, I'm going to buy my tickets for this. Basically, if you don't know what this is a documentary about Christopher Reeve, who of course played Superman, and it's really only highlighting his era of Superman because what else is Christopher Reeve really known for, right? But it's basically his story about you know, it chronicles him being Superman from to him being kicked by the horse and the tragedy that was up until his death, basically. The impact he made on society and culture and things like that. And that's basically what this documentary is. It looks very powerful, very emotional. From people who have seen this at film festivals, it has really high reviews. Like, I think it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes right now or something crazy. So I think it will be really good. As a huge Superman fan, I imagine it's going to make me very emotional, and I will be reviewing it when I get a chance to see this one. I think I'm not going to be able to see it the first showtime. I'm going to have to go the second. It's like, I think it's the 21st and the 25th. Fathom events, they're only like 2 days, and they're spread out. So I'm going to have to go the very next day to see it. It'll be great. I'm very excited about this one. So that is that movie. And it looks really good. Number 4, A Complete Unknown. This is the Bob Dylan movie that I'm a big Bob Dylan fan. I love a lot of his stuff, and I'm very excited about this movie. First of all, James Mangold, I think, is a bit of a underrated director in some instances. He did a great work with Walk the Line, which I plan to do a video on before this one comes out. But now he's directing a new biopic with Timothée Chalamet as Bob Dylan. And I think before Walk, I would have been a little more cautious about him being Bob Dylan, but he showed me that he can kind of... This and Dune 2, this guy showed me in the last year and a half that this guy really does not hold his punches, and it deserves the acclaim and talent that he is. And he is great in this. It looks great in this movie. It looks really good. I love Bob Dylan. Enough said. Yeah, that's the next one on the list, and that will be out in December. Number 3. This one, I'm combining both of these because both of these come out a week apart, and I can't decide which one I want to see more. I know which one I'm going to see first. It's Transformers 1 because it comes out earlier and they have an early screening for it. But I can't decide which one of these I want to see more because they're both really interesting. And they're both very similar movies that are releasing a week apart because someone's a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. Yeah. That is Transformers 1 and The Wild Robot. These movies are both animated robot movies, releasing a week apart in the same month. I don't understand this. It's really dumb. But I love DreamWorks, and Wild Robot has a really good director behind it, one of the co-directors of How to Train Your Dragon behind it, and it just looks fantastic. The animation looks gorgeous. It looks like something new for DreamWorks. I've heard great things about the book, so if I like the movie, I'll probably read the book, which I probably will like the movie. So I'm definitely going to read the book. And yeah, it looks great. Transformers 1, it is the 40th anniversary of Transformers this year. I'm a big fan. I went to that Transformers 40th anniversary event. That was really shitty and no one should have gone to, but it was fun, I guess. And so I know that this is a hardline reboot, and I'm hoping this will be what Mutant Mayhem was for the Turtles franchise. I don't know how well it will work out because this movie looks very interesting. But, Mutant Mayhem is kind of having some problems with it. I saw the new Tales of the TMNT show, and while I enjoyed parts of that show, I had a lot of issues with it. I'm Transformers 1 cannot fall into the same trappings and kind of succeed. But with this new movie, I've heard great things from people who've seen it at early screenings and stuff like that. Comic-Con, other places. I heard great things about it so far. I'm very excited about it. So, yeah, there's that. And then number 2 is 4:30 movie. This is the new Kevin Smith movie. I'm a big Kevin Smith fan. I got a few Kevin Smith videos I'm working on at the moment. It looks really good. Kevin Smith tends to fall into a lot of trappings of using his old characters lately and not really advancing things. And I'm glad to see another original film for him that looks like it seems to be hitting more wide release than his last couple of films, which would be really good to see. And hopefully it works out for him because I think this movie looks really good. Next, number one is Nosferatu. I had to put this movie at the top of your list. This is Robert Eggers' new movie. It's his passion project. He's been wanting to make this for years, and it looks incredible. And I really don't know how you could not be excited for this movie. Robert Eggers is literally one of the greatest modern filmmakers. I feel like the biggest problem right now with directors is there's not a lot of them that are sticking the landing and becoming names like Robert Eggers. And he really is, and he's really shown his craft, and I cannot wait for this film. And I am deeply, deeply hyped for it.